quite effortless on the slick tyres, not intermediates. He is on slicks. Surely that leading four are going to come in. We're about to find out.
And guys, Rossi's bike still has inters on it. The number 2 still has inters.
Yellow flags at the final corner. I think that's for a crash for Tito Rabat, so no overtaking there. They're going round again.
They're still out there, and they're closing up on Andrea Dovizioso all the time.
They can't believe it. They can't believe it. They must have given him the box sign. Frustration there. It was Brent Stevens waving his arms in the air. They thought Rossi was coming, and they know. They've got all the information at their fingertips. They've seen the pace of Iannone on the intermediates, and certainly of Marquez. We need to see Marc Marquez. Look at Andrea Dovizioso's, the left-hand side of that front wet tyre. It is ripping itself to pieces. It's just overheating. They've got to come in soon. Marquez is just down to the 129s. He's 6 seconds a lap quicker now than the guys on wets. He's 26 seconds behind Dovizioso. 9 laps to go. Marquez can just win this race on those slick tyres.
They've got to come in. They have got to come in, yeah. Maverick Vinales in and out. Was that intermediates or slicks?
Yeah, so that was intermediates. Looks like Suzuki intermediates. We're just seeing Tito Rabat and Danny Pedrosa go out on slicks.
Sorry, Dylan, I wonder how much time you lose in the pit lane, because Marquez is 26 seconds behind Dovizioso. If Dovizioso comes in, you must be losing 25, 30 seconds on a bike swap. Marquez could actually be leading on the road.
Down they come towards turn 12. We have just over 8 laps remaining. The track is visibly drying, seeing a little bit of watery sunshine now. There is Barbara, there is Cal Crutchlow, there is Jack Miller. And Barbara runs it a little bit wide and Crutchlow comes through. Are they coming in this time round? It doesn't look like they are. Are they going to stick it out?
We've almost got some sunshine peeking through the clouds now. He's gone again, Rossi. He's gone round again. Dovizioso's board is saying box as well. They have gone round again. Dovizioso on the last time around was a 135.3. The man to keep a close eye on, though, is number 93, Marc Marquez, because he's on full slick tyres on a rapidly drying track here. Marquez then, he'll be coming over the line very, very shortly. Dylan.
I think the only thing which these guys might be thinking is, look, this dry line is extremely tight. If those guys stay on it, for anyone on slicks to actually pass them, they would have to be on that dry line. So, you know, the guys with the wets, if it did come down to the last couple of lets, could arguably maybe block those guys, because the slicks, they cannot go off that line.
Have Honda pulled off an absolute coup here by getting him in and putting him on slick tyres so early. He's got a beautiful clear line at the moment on the dry track, but Dylan is so right. It won't make love. They're trying to get him out into the wet. They're trying to get him out into the marbles. Do you know, I reckon they're going to carry on. I think they feel we're going to risk it.
You're not going to be able to block a rider, though, who's 7 seconds faster than you. I mean, Marc Marquez a few laps ago passed Jorge Lorenzo like he was standing still. There's just a massive differential in lap time performance between the three of them. Cal Crutchlow now is up to 3rd place.
He's going to have a go. He's going to have a nibble at Rossi up the inside at turn 12. Thinks about it, then decides not to. Right. The same old question we've been asking for the last 5 laps. Are they going to come in?
But if they do now, though, Marquez will lead the race. Simple as that. If any of these riders come in, because Marquez now is within 20 seconds of the lead. If they come in now, Marquez is going to lead.
Rossi's in.
Yeah, they're all getting. Well,
Crutchlow is in. Crutchlow, they're all
Miller
in.
stayed out. Miller didn't come in. Miller's just rolled the dice here. Jack Miller's gone for it. He doesn't care. He's trying to get another victory. But what it will mean is Marc Marquez on the road will be in front of these guys.
Dovizioso first to get back on the bike and out. Valentino Rossi, a little bit of a slip. He's out also. We can see Dovizioso. Cal Crutchlow made a very, very good pit change there. Crutchlow could lead this group. Hector Barbara. Can you tell us what tyres, Dylan? So they all came in together. Jack Miller leads here in Germany.
Sorry, guys, I saw with Dobby and Rossi, I saw the intermediates. With Cal Crutchlow, I'm going to have to confirm.
Many thanks.
Yeah, these guys have now got to work out, get their tyres up to temperature. There's Scott Running, look, who's already got his tyres right up to temperature. Cal Crutchlow out way wide. Marquez was 10 seconds behind Jack Miller over the line last time around. He's in 6th place at the moment. He's already got those slicks absolutely beautifully up to working temperature.
6.5 laps to go. What a season we are having. Every race throws up a different story.
Well, he's in 2nd place, of course, now, Marquez, because he was 19 seconds behind that lead group when they came in. Of course, with the time it took for those guys to come in, Marquez took 2nd place. He is only 6.5 seconds behind Jack Miller, who was on full wet tyres. And last time around, Miller was a 135.1. Marquez was 7 seconds faster. He'll be passing him on the next lap.
Is Miller going to come in? Or is Miller going to stick it out? Miller is going to stick it out. He's gambling. And you know,
why not?
He's probably doing the right thing, isn't he?
Guys, so with Dobby, actually, apparently they changed to a rear slick, so he's intermediate front tyre. Rossi, as we said, is on the full intermediates with Cal Crutchlow. I haven't made it down to the box yet, but from what I've heard in pit lane, it appears to be he's on full slicks.
Here's Marquez
He's
now.
closing for the kill.
He's
closing for the kill.
Last time around, he was 8.2 seconds quicker than Jack Miller. You know what? Honda called it absolutely bang on in that flag-to-flag race in Misano. there was frustration from Valentino Rossi's crew. You know, they would have seen the lap times of Marquez. They would have been able to have calculated what lap Rossi needed to come in to get back out on track in front of Marquez. Marquez leads this German Grand Prix for the first time.
Brilliant strategy by Honda and by Marc Marquez. He obviously has to make the ultimate decision. But Marquez changed to slicks, not to intermediates, to slick tyres when everybody else was not coming in or coming in to change to intermediate.
And you could argue it was a risk, but just looking at Marquez's times on the slicks compared to Andrea Iannone, who we know is out on that full intermediate combination. Andrea Iannone last time around was a 1:29.101, so about 3 seconds off the pace of Marc Marquez. So there's a big gap as well between the slicks and the intermediates. What about the battle for the podium? Scott Redding, who's also came in very early on, he's now in third place. He's 2.6 seconds clear of Andrea Dovizioso.
Crutchlow in fifth and Barbara Rossi Pedrosa. Jack Miller's just got to grit his teeth now, hasn't he, and just hang in there, because it's going to be very, very tough indeed.
Yeah, look, Rossi's out on the full intermediate combination. Marc Marquez and Repsol Honda pulled off an absolute genius decision here. Slicks is the way to go.
Yeah, Miller's just pitted and he's now out on slicks.
It's a shame for Jack Miller, but in many ways you can see what he was trying to do. So up over the line they come, 5 laps to go. Marquez leading by a country mile. Barbara trying to get up the inside. Here comes Andrea Iannone up the inside of Hector Barbara. Danny Pedrosa in there as well.
So yeah, it's Marquez from Redding and Dovizioso at the moment. Crutchlow's fourth.
Brilliant strategy, you've got to say, but it was a gamble, surely. That was a gamble, wasn't it, Dylan? To go out on slicks when everybody else was thinking about intermediates.
No, massive gamble, massive. But do you know what? Lots of people have actually said, you know, Inters are never really that useful, because once the track is starting to dry, they generally recommend just go straight onto the slicks. And you know, it seems like Honda were the ones who kind of took that advice a little bit more literally than the others.
Great ride again by Scott Redding. Not quite the same as Assen. It started off in the wet, but now it's drying out. Came in at exactly the right time.
Just feels like Pisano history repeating itself. You know, Rossi and Yamaha just staying out on track for 2 or 3 laps too long.
It's a tremendous battle going on here. Iannone on the intermediates is absolutely flying. This is at turn 30. Up over the top they come.
Yeah, the difference between that group with like Miller and Rossi and Barbara is Iannone's got those intermediates nicely up to working temperature now. It's Marquez then from Redding. Dovizioso. Crutchlow's a second behind Dovizioso, so that battle for the podium not quite complete yet. Iannone here, this is the battle, well, this is Iannone 5th, Pedrosa 6th, and it's Miller 7th, or he was 7th. It's Rossi who's moved back into 7th place, but Iannone and Pedrosa are breaking away from Valentino Rossi. This is really damaging for Rossi's championship aspirations, with Marc Marquez disappearing off into the distance on those slick tyres. 48 points, the gap between Marquez and Lorenzo, and Rossi losing another 16 points.
Doubling his lead in the championship over Jorge Lorenzo, and he will thank his team and the thought that went into changing those tyres, and the brave decision by him to go out on those slick tyres. Scott Redding running in 2nd place. That would be his best ever MotoGP finish. 3rd in Assen, of course he finished 3rd in Misano in a similar sort of race, wasn't it, almost a year ago for Scott Redding.
Contrasting emotions for the Pramac Ducati team, of course. Danilo Petrucci crashing out of the lead earlier on when it was a full wet track. This is going to be a great battle between the 2 former Tech 3 Yamaha teammates, the 2 former factory Ducati teammates. There's a bit more than 16 points in the podium at stake here. There's a bit of pride at stake here between Dovizioso and Cal Crutchlow. Cal Crutchlow's not been on the podium since Argentina 2015.
And was it Iannone or Dovizioso he beat then, right at the end of the race? It was Iannone who went on the Ducati.
Crutchlow fastest lap of the race, 1:26.539. He was almost a second quicker. Last time all moment for Crutchlow as he got on the gas coming out of the first corner. Bit of a warning sign there for the LCR Honda man.
We ride with Dovizioso at the bottom of the Omega curve, turn 3. They start the climb uphill now. Cal Crutchlow, 35, right in his face, as Matt said. Teammates at Tech 3 Yamaha, teammates at Ducati. Big, big podium finish this could be for Cal Crutchlow. Over the top they come, down through turn 7, 2.5 laps to go. Marquez is going to win this one by a country mile. Crutchlow lines him up as they come up the hill, but Dovizioso is very, very strong up here.
Hope Cal Crutchlow's heavily pregnant wife Lucy's not watching this. Baby due in about 3 weeks' time for Crutchlow. He's all over the back of Andrea Dovizioso. They had a fair few last lap battles when they were teammates at Tech 3 Yamaha, and it was usually the Italian that came out on top.
Here comes Crutchlow. Is he going to make a turn at turn 12? Is he going to make a move? No. Dovizioso is very, very strong on the brakes. We switch back to Dovizioso. When they cross the line, they will be on their last lap. Here comes Crutchlow at turn 13.
He's made it up the inside at turn number 13. Andrea Dovizioso was really slow there. I'm not sure if he missed a gear or something coming through that turn 13, Dovizioso. Scott Redding's got to be careful as well because he's in second place. Cal Crutchlow, 1:27.686 the last time around. That's the intermediate front tyre for Scott Redding. Crutchlow might be able to take a second place here, just like he did in 2013, behind Marc Marquez on that occasion as well.
The gap he pulled on Andrea Dovizioso once he got past him just shows you how fast he is going.
I'm not sure whether Dovizioso might have missed a gear or something there, Nick, because, yeah, I mean, Crutchlow was just able to blitz away from him. It could, of course, be the fact that they're on different tyre combinations.
I think it was because he was sort of pushed wide, had to go wide, and then he was on a very wet part of the track. I think he almost had to throttle off there.
Well, Crutchlow then.
Yeah, he's closing up on his great pal, great rival, Scott Redding. Redding chasing his second successive podium finish, third in us, and there is Crutchlow. Dovizioso looked at quite a likely race winner while it was wet, now down in fourth place. Iannone, Pedrosa, Valentino Rossi running in seventh.
It wasn't so long ago that Marc Marquez was over 30 seconds off the win in this race. He's now nearly 21 seconds clear, and Crutchlow's now swarming all over the back of Scott Redding. Crutchlow passed Dovizioso last time around here at turn number 13. Marquez is on his last lap. No way through this time around for Crutchlow.
1 lap left of this amazing 30-lap German Grand Prix, round 9 of the championship. Side by side, the two British riders as they come into turn 1. Redding holds the advantage. No, he doesn't. Crutchlow is through. He did that to Paul Espargaro earlier, but this is going to run it wide. Brilliant, brilliant manoeuvre by Cal Crutchlow up into second place.
Yeah, Crutchlow's just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:25.355. This is the battle for 6th place. It's Pedrosa from Rossi, Jack Miller up the inside of Hector Barbera, Lucio Cecchinello, LCR Honda team boss. He can't watch.
He's not watching Lucio Cecchinello. This is Crutchlow at his best. This is the old Crutchlow, isn't it?
Well, Redding will know that Crutchlow's got by far the superior pace, so Scott Redding will know, although he might be vulnerable, you know, to an attack from Andrea Dovizioso. Second place, Scott Redding can forget about that. Crutchlow is clearing off into the distance. Now it's all about Dovizioso and Redding. Redding's under severe pressure. Dovizioso's cut the gap down to under half a second. The battle for third's not over.
But salute this man and salute his team. This is the battle of Dovizioso now, trying to steal that third place from Scott Redding. He's going to get up the inside. So they come into turn 12. Dovizioso through. Can Redding get back at him? No, he can't. Marc Marquez wins for the 7th successive time here in the Saxon Ring and thanks his team. What a ride by Crutchlow.
Now Crutchlow, he can his best ever Grand Prix result in second place. This late heartache for Scott Redding. He just ran out of grip at the end of that race. He's furious. Dovizioso back on the podium. Well, Lucio Cecchinello, rather, he can smile now. Here comes Andrea Iannone to take 5th place for the second race in succession. Pedrosa from Jack Miller. Miller had a great last couple of laps. Valentino Rossi, a disconsolate 8th place for him.
Hector Barbera in 9th, disappointing for him. Alvaro Batista, decent ride for him on the Aprilia. Top 10, they're the only ones to finish the race as we stand at the moment. Then we have Eugene Lavany, another good ride, 11th. Maverick Vinales in 12th place. But brilliant stuff from Marquez and from his team. They took the gamble after that big crash also in the morning warm-up, and it worked. And what about poor old Jorge Lorenzo? Almost silent as he didn't come across the line.
Yeah, he'll be coming over the line to pick up 1 point. 15th place for Jorge Lorenzo.
There we go, 48-point lead in the championship. He has doubled his championship lead.
What a weekend for Marc Marquez. 7 wins in a row then here. 7th heaven for Marquez. 7 wins in a row now for Honda. And their tactics, yes, they were risky, but sometimes you do have to roll the dice. He got himself into a position in the championship where he could take a couple of risks with that 24-point cushion, but it was a masterstroke.
It was a masterstroke, Matt. And while others were coming in and changing to intermediates, he went out and put on the slicks.
Well, and we can clearly see from those TV shots, Dovizioso and Valentino Rossi quite clearly were being told to box because their teams could see what Marc Marquez's lap times were. They knew that Marquez at times in that race was 5-6 seconds a lap quicker, and they knew with the number of laps that were still remaining that if they stayed on the wets, well, the inevitable was going to happen, as it did. Great to see Cal Crutchlow back on the podium, the first time since the Termaster Rio Hondo race in Argentina. What a couple of weeks it's going to be for Crutchlow. He's going home to